Hello, everybody. I'm Dorothy, professional astrologer. You can find me on the web, Dorothy Morgan, astrologer.com. We're going to talk about today's astrology, as well as once we're done with today's astrology, the little bit that we're going to do, then we'll do the astro dice, just to give us a little more insight, message from spirit, if you will. And then I use this beautiful deck to finalize what's going on for the day. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. All right, here we are. Hopefully I'm sharing the right thing. Yes, I am. Sometimes it doesn't show up. Here we go. Look at that moon in Scorpio. All right, so when the moon is in Scorpio, as it was yesterday, we can feel a lot of very deep and intense feelings. Just earlier this morning, today is March 22nd, 2022, early in the morning, just after sunrise here on the East Coast of the United States, the moon and the south node were in a conjunction with each other. The moon is now separating from that. That's what this is right here. So that as well tells me that collectively, that's what the south node represents, is the collective, what the transiting south node, what we're collectively working through. So we're collectively working through digging up the deep things, the things that are hidden, the things that are very deep within. Personally, depending on where this is in your chart, of course, this happened at the 25th, 26th degree of Scorpio in your own chart, and you'll go find where that is for more personal insight. However, generally speaking, personally, if we're doing that, we're also bringing things to the surface: insecurities, fears, things that we react to, right? And not take the time to respond. So when I see this much Scorpio energy, and by the way, the last aspect the moon makes every time it leaves a zodiac sign now, excuse me a second. Every time, I can't wait for the windows to open more permanently. It'll get rid of this dry cough. The moon sextile Pluto is what we have going on today. And what I was saying before I had to cough was every time the moon is just about to leave a zodiac sign, since Pluto is at the very end of the sign it's in, the moon gets a dose of Pluto, right? And so Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So this one is especially important. Not that they all aren't, because I do believe they all are. So as soon as that moon is at the very end of a zodiac sign and it comes in contact with Pluto by one aspect or another, it's being infused with Plutonian energy. And again, that's like what's going on behind the scenes, what needs to come up. This is going to go on for quite a while Pluto is at the end of Capricorn. It'll shift a little bit when Pluto enters Aquarius. That's down the road. We'll talk about that when it shows up. But keep that in mind. Every few days, no matter what sign the moon is in, she's making an aspect with Pluto. And again, this one on March 22nd, moon in Scorpio with the south node in Scorpio, sextile Pluto before it goes void of course. It goes void of course. It doesn't stay void of course very long, since it's at the end of the zodiac sign. Goes void of course just after noontime Eastern Daylight Time, and it moves into Sagittarius at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today. So what are you working on? How can you find a way to sort of sit in silence for a while? Because that's really important when it comes to Scorpio and Plutonian energy. We want to purge. And so when we're not reacting to our deep fears and stresses, it's important that we don't react to our deep fears and stresses. However, if we are, observe that and find that quiet, private meditation time, contemplation. That is what we really, really, really need to do at the time that the moon is moving through these signs. All right. Now, this is my website. I actually didn't mean to click on it, but here it is. I have a mentorship program if anybody's interested. More astrology is over on my Patreon. So come and join us there. We do a lot of astrology there. And I'm going to stop my share. There we go. We do a lot of astrology there. I do it once a week. So that's at tier 3. So come and join us. And so what did I roll for the dice, which is just, again, additional content. I disturbed him before I read them. Hold on. Let's try that again. Pluto in Capricorn in the 7th house. Pluto is in Capricorn. So the additional content based off of the astrology dice, not astrology in the sky. However, sometimes it does match, doesn't it? It's a roll of the dice. The additional content from spirit, that's how I like to put it, through the astro dice, Pluto, Capricorn, 7th house. Let's focus on those partnerships and relationships. Are you making stuff up? Are you spinning scenarios in your head? Or do you have something that's really deep and important that you need to work through with a partner or a person? All right. So keep an eye on that. That's what that really comes down to. Pretty close to everything that's going on in the astrology in the sky. It really does happen to match. Maybe you have Pluto and Capricorn in the 7th house in your natal chart, right? That means you have Capricorn in your natal chart in the 7th house, the very end of Capricorn. So that would mean that you would currently have that happening. And if that's in your chart, then this message would be a really important one, especially for if you have that configuration. All right. How do we know? You have to know how to read your chart. And I do teach beginners, but we're in the middle right now of a beginner thing. So if you're ever interested, I always need, 5 or 6 to start a class. My classes are never very big. So 5 or 6 to start a class. If you have a group of people, let me know and let's have a conversation. The card that comes up is a dream traveler. So I'm loving it. So again, while this is definitely about dreams and spending, paying attention to what your dreams are, maybe setting intentions before you sleep so you can get answers to dreams. But I also like the feel of it too. So when we do go into meditation, I've done this before, I've gone into meditation and I've done some healing work with, a family member who's now passed, but with family members or even with dear friends, you bringing them in. It's a whole shamanic process that I like to do. It's personal, but yeah. So when I see dream traveler, that just gives me that opportunity to know that it is important to spend time quiet in dreamland. So sleep a little more if you need to, pay attention to your dreams, but also find time for that meditation and contemplation, which goes along really, really well with the moon in the sky today in Scorpio, conjunct the South Node, working through old things and making that sextile to Pluto in Capricorn. So we really have it can be a day of things that are, up and out, right? Up and out. And, don't judge what comes up and out, just process it, because that's helpful too. So we can be easy on ourselves and kind to ourselves. The 4th quarter doesn't come until Thursday. We'll talk about that later. All right. Thank you, everybody. Blessings. And I will leave you with that. And as always, please support me by the thumbs up, comment, share to your groups, whatever, everywhere you can share. It will help YouTube know that you guys like it, especially if you watch it to the end. That's important too. They judge things by watch time. Who knows? They're such a pain in the ass, but I like the platform. So thank you, everybody. And, I digress. Have a good day. Blessings and namaste.